Come on, let's go. Move up and down, up and down. Good, good.
Be in your face every day like this! Let's go!
You gotta punch hard!
On your mark, get set, go!
Home sweet home.
Oh, finally.
Coming back from New Zealand, I thought I'd be really sad because New Zealand was such an amazing experience, but at the same time, it's like getting back to the ranch, it feels like home almost. You know, this is where we've been living for the past 4 months.
Time to hit the sack.
Finally back.
Time to hit the
Feels
drum.
good to be back.
My dad just went home and it sucks. It sucks walking back into this house and realizing that for the first time, I think, in my entire life, I'm alone. I've never moved out of my parents' house, and I'm 21 years old. I have to trust myself this week, and that's a strange place to be for the first time. And the last thing I want to do is walk out of this house the week after my dad leaves, because then I'll have completely failed him. I feel like at this point, if I go home, it's on nobody but myself. I should have the weight to stay. I should have the ability to lose that weight to stay. And if I mess up, it's on me.
New Zealand was definitely a great experience. I learned that physically, like, I could do pretty much anything.
Oh my God, oh my God!
Yes!
I'm 2 pounds away from losing 100. Hopefully be the first girl to lose 100 pounds here this season. And I'm also the biggest loser right now. So that's a lot of pressure.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This week, we are going to celebrate the best of the best from seasons past. This is Favorites Week.
Oh, that's
cool. We are going to bring back some of your all-time favorite Biggest Loser contestants.
Oh, you know, I have a lot of favorite past contestants. Brittany Aberle is probably one of my #1 favorite contestants because I've actually seen her act the show. She's kept all her weight off. She's so motivational and she's absolutely gorgeous. I really like Tara Costa just because her strength, that she's so strong. I did like Sam and Coley. They had like a really good bond, kind of like Olivia and I. Ali Vincent was the first female winner, which was totally amazing. There's so many people on The Biggest Loser that have inspired millions of people, and I'm hoping to get to see some of those this week.
We also have some surprises along the way, starting right now. So head on up to the gym. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Wow.
Welcome back. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get to hang out with Ali and Sam today. I mean, this is so cool.
Look at you guys, you look amazing. Hi, I'm Ali Vincent. I was season 5 winner, but more importantly, the first female to win The Biggest Loser.
Ali is the first female Biggest Loser. Go hug your mother! Congratulations, Ali!
My life has changed, 360 degrees since the show, and in the last 3 years since I won, I wrote a book, I travel around the country, and I speak to groups anywhere from 100 to 5,000. So many people out there want to know what we do here and what's the secrets, and so I'm out there to tell them there's no secret.
Hi, my name is Sam Poueu. I was on season 9 of The Biggest Loser. I am a personal trainer at the Biggest Loser Resort, Venice Ridge. Currently, me and Steph are planning out our wedding. We're looking at April of next year. I proposed to her right here on this ground that I sit.
Oh my God!
Will you be my wife? And here I am back to be able to train the contestants. It's an absolute honor, and I'm very thankful for this blessing of an opportunity. I was the first contestant to ever leave this ranch at its goal weight. I think everyone kind of sees this finale, they want to get there, and they have this all or nothing feeling like, we got to get there, we got to get there. We want to get down to our leanest weight because we want to see that number light up like a Vegas light, and that's what it's all about. Ultimately, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. All right, it's about from here to the rest of your life.
Sam went home early because he met his goal weight, and then to simply leave the show and to do it with class. And I really respected that. And I'm within 15 pounds of my goal weight, my competition weight. So if I went home early, I'm okay with it.
So right now we're just gonna warm up, and then we're gonna start out today with a little 5K.
It's very inspiring to know that they were in the same spot we were. They were at a very bad place in their life. They transformed themselves. They look incredible, and they came back to help us out.
Here we go, 3, 2, 1. 2 minutes has begun, let's go.
After we finish our 5K, Ali and Sam, they've set up the circuit training session for us.
We're officially 1 minute on the dot. Looking strong, let's go. Rotate.
Pace yourself, you got 2 minutes.
Rotate, let's go.
When we started 17 weeks ago, the circuits we did were like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. They're talking 2 minutes, so holding plank for 2 minutes.
Just hanging out. There you go.
That's hard.
You got 30 seconds right here. If you got it in you, take it up a notch.
And I think this favorites week was perfect timing because it really opened all of us up to the reality that someone here is going to be the biggest loser.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Ali got eliminated. She came back. She won. I got eliminated. I came back. Maybe I'll win.
3, 2, 1.
Good. Good
Solid
job.
work.
Coming up, Favorites Week continues with another surprise.
Come on out.
Wow. As the contestants gear up for one of Biggest Loser's most memorable challenges. And later,
Well, what's happening right now? We're all looking around like...
a startling revelation
I don't think any of us saw that coming at all.
leaves everyone in shock.
Now, it's anybody's game.
So strange.
So you guys all hungry?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Today I wanted to show the contestants a good side dish. So this recipe calls for 1 can of black beans. It's a quinoa salad, and in it there's quinoa, which is a high protein grain. It's got mango and it's got lime juice, it's got bell pepper, so it's loaded and has that filling feature. You guys, it's ridiculously fabulous. They can go and grab a serving of that, and that can be their snack. They can add it to a piece of fish for their dinner. They can add it to a wrap, which, you know, Sam wanted to do a wrap today, so it was a perfect mix.
When I get done with just a vigorous workout that Bob and Jillian puts us through, I'm all about getting my carbs and especially my proteins in within the first 20 minutes after your workout, because your body is very receptive to everything that you're going to take in. We have a whole wheat tortilla here, hummus. In my culture, we use mayo on everything, unfortunately. 2 tablespoons of hummus is going to be 70 calories. This is a perfect spread to layer upon the tortilla at first.
That was actually really interesting to me, how we can change our cultural habits. In our culture, mayo is a big staple. So instead put some hummus, it's lower in calorie and it's better for you, and still get this same great creamy taste.
Some turkey, 4 ounces is going to be 120 calories, all right? The 4 ounces is a typical serving size. I'm a big fan of cherry tomatoes because they are super red and they're condensed with nutrients. Grilled onions are better for you than raw onions because your body has a tough time digesting everything in the raw. When it's cooked and broken down, we absorb it a lot better. The great thing about showing the contestants that was hopefully it was a historical reference that they could remember. So when they are home and they're time crunching and they're busy and they have things to do and they have, you know, workouts to plan, why not get a whole wheat wrap, put on a little hummus, whatever protein of your choice, some veggies, wrap it up, call it a day. Here's to the new family.
Cheers!
All right, let's eat.
Oh my gosh.
Dig in.
Welcome, everyone, to the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. Look familiar?
I am so excited because this, by far, was one of my all-time favorite challenges. It was one of those moments that I can remember sitting on my couch, watching the show, and being like, this makes me want to do this show. This makes me want to, like, get out and do something.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the way to make an entrance.
You are looking at the number 33 Wheaties Chevy Impala, driven by NASCAR Cup driver Clint Bowyer. Welcome back, Clint. How are you?
Good to see you guys.
I followed NASCAR since I was a little kid. It's just pretty amazing to see Clint Bowyer hop out of the driver's seat. That's pretty awesome to be on the same racetrack as a legend.
You know, in racing, you're going to have a bad race or two, but you have to persevere. You never lose focus of the goal of being a champion. And you guys display that week in and week out on this show. You're an inspiration to all of us.
As Favorites Week, we are returning to one of the Biggest Loser's all-time favorite challenges, the Get Back on Track Challenge. Exactly 2 years ago on this very track, Tara, the greatest competitor we have ever had in Biggest Loser history, won the race you are going to compete in today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Tara, come on out.
Tara's here. I am like so excited.
We've been such a big fan of Tara for so many seasons. I mean, every woman that's ever watched the show is a huge fan of Tara. And she looks absolutely beautiful.
And you guys, hi!
Hey. My name is Tara. I was a finalist on season 7, and I was notorious for winning a lot of challenges. And looking back, I feel like I'm still the most blessed person I was at my finale. I feel like I'm a single, fearless woman just ready to take on the world and take on any obstacle. This is the best thing that's probably ever going to happen to your entire life. You've all come so amazingly far. Make sure you're able to give back and to continue to challenge yourself.
So what are you doing to give back, Tara?
Well, to give back, I actually started my own foundation called the Inspire Change Foundation. My foundation is specifically to help people embrace change in their lives, especially within children. Childhood obesity is rampant right now across the U.S., globally, everywhere. And I want to make sure I'm doing my small piece to give back. And to continue to push myself, I'm competing in the World Championship Ironman in Kona, Hawaii.
Oh, wow. So if you guys want to win, be prepared, because Tara is competing in today's challenge.
Wow.
Yeah, is that going to be fun?
We're going to be competing with Tara. I actually watched her at home pull that car, and I never in a million years thought I would actually be doing that next to her.
Each of you will be harnessed to a car at the starting line. On my go, you will pull the car nearly half a mile. First person to cross the finish line wins. So let's get to the prize. Clint, what do we have for the winner today?
The winner gets a VIP experience to be my guest at the Richmond International Speedway, the last race before the cutoff at the Chase. Wow. And you also get to have your face on the cover of a collector's box of Wheaties. There have been a lot of champions on this box, and I know one of your faces will look good on it.
When I won the gold medal in the Sydney Olympics, even though I was an Olympic gold medalist, I didn't have the chance to be on the Wheaties box. So this is redemption time. This may be my time I can get on the Wheaties box.
With some prize money attached, $5,000 to the winner.
Wow. Good luck. Boys, don't let me down.
It happened once.
I know. Get everything you got. Let's get started.
We see these huge blown up pictures of ourselves, and you know, I'm looking at a picture of this girl who's 261 pounds. I don't even know who that person is anymore.
My heart was doing a little pitter patter, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm gonna pull a car against an Olympic gold medalist. I was scared.
On your mark. Get set. Go! On your mark. Get set. Go! Come on, guys! Get those cars moving!
Oh my gosh. The car is so heavy. I had to get on all fours as low as possible just to get it going.
And Rulin off to a good start! Looks like Tara is keeping track of Rulin, not letting him get too far ahead of her. Austin holding on, he's coming in third. Kaylee and Olivia fighting for fourth place.
17 weeks ago, I know I couldn't have been able to do this. So it's amazing to see how far I've come, and I'm a whole different person from the person that's on the hood.
Tara letting Rulin pull ahead a little bit.
I'm not going to be beat by Tara, or I'm not going to be beat by anybody. You know, this is my race to win. It's my race to lose.
Austin at a jog, catching up with Tara. She better look around. Rulin, Tara, Austin, first, second, third.
Seeing the finish line and seeing Rulon right there next to me, I just told myself, you don't stop. And I gave it every single thing I had in me.
20 yards to go. Tara making a run for it.
As I see Tara starting to gain on me, the one thought is dig, drive. You know, this is redemption time. This may be my time I can get on the Wheaties box.
Rulin, this is it. You're bringing it down to the wire. You got to cross that finish line, people. It's time to connect.
Photo finish.
It is a photo finish. Ah! We're going to have to check the cameras. That is too close to call for me.
After I cross the finish line, I look up and I'm exactly equal with Tara. We're looking around like, hey, is there any results?
Here comes Jay.
Everybody was finishing up, and even at that point, we still didn't know who won, but I know that I gave everything I had in the race.
Irene, you got Good job, Irene.
Good job.
Good job, Hannah. Rulin, Tara, you brought it down to the wire. Clint and I were watching. By the naked eye, you could not determine a winner.
That was probably the closest finish this track has ever seen.
We reviewed every single angle, every single tape. And there is a winner. Goes to Tara. Tara's front bumper crossed the finish line ahead of Rulin's. So she is officially our winner.
To see Tara, who is a girl who's the Rulin, all the girl power inside me is just like doing like cheers, like beat the boy again.
Now I have $5,000 from my foundation. That's going to help me get everything started. And I also get to go to the Richmond International Raceway with Clint again. And I also get to be on a Wheaties box. That's like Bruce Jenner is on a Wheaties box. And Tara Costa is now on a Wheaties box.
Last chance workout, you guys. As close to 5-0. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. We got back from New Zealand, and I didn't even get to see the contestants. I mean, they were training with Ali and Sam, so I've got to make sure that this last chance workout counts. 20 seconds, last chance workout.
The Final Four is so close, and that's obviously been a huge goal of ours from the very beginning, but we just never thought that it could ever happen. But now, there's no what if. This could legitimately happen.
5 incline, it's tough. 15 more seconds.
We'd be the first girl team in Biggest Loser history to make the Final Four together. And so our goal right now is just to stay as focused as we can, work as hard as we can, and I think you're going to see the purple team in the Final Four.
1 minute of your life at 9-0. Now, go.
My dad's just gone home, and I'm realizing the standards that I was even holding myself to here were my dad's standards. I don't have those standards to live by here anymore. At this point, I know it's right, and I know it's wrong, and I need to be moving towards the right every day.
You gotta feel where they're at without having to look at them the whole time. There's only 7 people left, and we are very close to getting to the Final Four. Good. Switch, keep looking straight ahead. I've got to get everything out of this last chance workout. And what can I do that gives you cardio, core strength, and stretch? Capoeira.
Battle rock, 20 seconds. Push, push, push. Last chance workout. 10 jumping jacks.
During the workout, I look over at Rulon, who's on a treadmill by himself. I could see that something's wrong.
How are you feeling so far? You feel like you're really in your zone now?
Yeah, you know, everybody's so worried about going home. There's just so much drama. I don't sit and, you know, worry about friendships and people and this and that, because so much of what you're doing here is, you know, figuring out your own path. And for me, that's what I need to do. I need to find my path of being a person. And I'm getting close. I didn't come here to create a relationship with anybody. I came here to learn about a lot of my issues. And the real challenge is when I get home. How am I going to be able to handle a situation where I can go in and get fast food from a fast food place? And for me, that's going to be finding that balance. And I think that's a challenge I need to face when I get home. But I think for the most part, I'm ready to go home. If it's my time to go home this week, I'm out of here. I don't even shed a tear. See ya. You know, I'm gone. You know, that's how good I feel.
And you're not going to gain the weight back?
No, I'm good. Oh yeah, I got everything I need at home. I'm happy.
This is an Olympic gold medalist talking about possibly wanting to go home. I think Rulon is sick of competing. He's been competing his whole life. Now it's time to go home and do this without a competition to motivate him. And I think that's a good thing for him.
Coming up at the weigh-in.
What?
I don't think any of us saw that coming at all.
A surprise announcement that will change the game.
Well, that's the Biggest Loser first.
What's really stressful for me is, like, I've lost 98 pounds, and I need to lose 2 more pounds to get 100 and be the first girl this season. And everyone's making a big deal about 98 pounds and blah, 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 Biggest Loser. And I'm realizing that I'm putting a lot more pressure on myself than I really need.
You know, we are coming to the end of this. What is it that you want?
I want to be able to feel like I've done something that I could be proud of.
You realize that's madness, right? You're living in a loop. I can't, I'm weak, I haven't accomplished anything, I'm not capable of accomplishing anything. If only one day, if one day, if one day. And if you could turn off the tape recorder for just a second and process your accomplishments, you've already done the hard part, but you're denying it.
I wish I had that self-confidence, you know, and I don't know how to get it. You know?
The irony is that she's lost 98 pounds. Irene is the biggest loser of the entire house. All these months of being here, none of it has sunken in. She still feels weak. She's still behaving as though she's worthless and incapable, and she's not proud of herself, and it just nothing is sinking in.
I want to feel like I'm worth something, and I feel like I'm just...
You're never going to. Unless you're able to tell me right now I'm worth fighting for, you're not going to.
I'm worth this. I have been on for so many years, and I want something good for myself. I am one of the hardest working people here because I want to be here and I want to change my life. And I deserve this because I want something good for once. Not to help someone else. I want this for me, and I need this for myself, because I am starting to see how strong I am and how determined and how focused I've been, and I never knew I could do it. And now that I've come this far, I am in awe of where I've come from. Jillian is right. If I do lose 100 pounds, I'm definitely gonna be proud of that, because that was me. That was me that did that. And I do deserve to be here.
Welcome, everyone. Tonight, before we get started, I understand, Rulon, you have something you want to say? Go for it.
Yep. Well, this will be my last time on the scale. At this time, I'm asking to leave the Biggest Loser for a personal reason.
Okay.
What? And he was like, I'm leaving the show for personal reasons. I went, huh? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? You're leaving the show for personal reasons? You're leaving the show? And I'm thinking to myself, what's happening right now? And we're all looking around like, who knows what's going on?
That's it.
There's no explanation, which is a shocker. I don't think any of us saw that coming at all.
Rulon is going to be leaving the show for personal reasons, as he said.
Guess what? This season's been a shocking season. No one's declared they're going home, and Rulon just did it.
Thank you, Rulon.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Tonight, it came clear that I needed to go home for personal reasons. There's things that need to be addressed in my life back home, and I feel that my personal goals have been reached here on The Biggest Loser, and it's my time to go home. I got my health back, I got my fitness, and I got my life back, and that was the real reason that I was coming to The Biggest Loser. I'm happy. I'm gonna go home and see my wife, and I'm gonna be the husband that she deserves, and I'm gonna be a person who is accountable for my actions, and truly try to hopefully inspire people to change their lives like I had my life changed. Thank you, bro. See you, everybody.
Never before in Biggest Loser history have I ever seen this. I was so taken aback because Rulon was set up to win this show. This guy was just on a roll. Well, that's a Biggest Loser first. Now, it's anybody's game.
Wow. That is so strange. It's gotta be the strangest thing.
Rulon walks out of the gym, and then there were 6.
For Rulon to leave now, quite frankly, personally, it's good for me. I mean, one less person to have to worry about for the Final Four.
As Rulon said, he's leaving for personal reasons, but we still have a weigh-in to get to. 2 people will fall below the yellow line tonight, and 1 person is going home.
That's when my jaw really dropped, because I was like, wait a second, we just lost somebody. I mean, we were never told that possibly 2 people could go. So now this brings on a whole new layer of pressure.
Irene, we're gonna start with you.
This week's been very stressful for me. I had to come to terms with a lot of things I hadn't been willing to recognize. So at this point, all I really want is to lose the 100 pounds.
Irene, when you first started this competition, you weighed 255 pounds. Last week, you weighed in at 157 pounds. Which means, Irene, you are 2 pounds away from being the first woman this season to lose 100 pounds on campus. Irene, your current weight is... Irene, you are 2 pounds away from being the first woman this season to lose 100 pounds on campus. Irene, your current weight is...
Oh, come on. Give us more than that.
Yeah, that is not the celebration we were promised. Come on.
I'm not gonna do an Arthur dance. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on. We need a dance.
I am just like in shock, you know? I mean, I'm so used to, you know, celebrating for other people. It's like weird to have people like yelling and screaming for me. This is...
So let's celebrate Irene's achievement for a second. She's lost 101 pounds.
It was a lot of hard work, and I can honestly say that I am proud of myself.
Jill, I see a smile on your face.
I was extraordinarily confrontational with her, and I made her fight for herself and for her desire and her right to be here and to fight for her future. And she did, and I'm hoping it's something that she continues to do every day from this point on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
I know everyone wants me to say, this is what you've done, you need to be proud of yourself. And I am, but I truly, honestly couldn't have done it without those people who are cheering for me. And it's really good to be able to celebrate it with them.
Up next is Kaylee.
Last week, I pulled a really big number, and I know that coming into this week, it was going to be hard. My body has gone up and down, back and forth, multiple weeks. I'm just praying, you know, hoping that I don't have a bad week this week.
Kaylee, when you first started with The Biggest Loser, you weighed 233 pounds. Last week you weighed in at 163 pounds. Kaylee, your current weight is...
You know, I've had this problem, but right now I'm just at a loss. But 17 weeks in, I've learned a lot about myself. And as frustrating as that is, I'm not gonna give up.
To be honest, your attitude is where it should be. And you should be frustrated. That's okay to feel that frustration.
Thanks, Kaylee.
There's so many different theories on why my body keeps going up and down, but I'm so close to my goal weight, and I think for me, that's one thing I can be proud of.
Next to weigh in is Austin.
So much of my time here at the ranch and at home especially it's kind of been like pleasing my dad. And this week, it's all about me. And if I get a big enough number to be safe, it helps me understand I'm making the right decisions and I can walk this and I can stand this on my own 2 feet.
Austin, when you first started this competition, you weighed 396 pounds. In order to be above that yellow line and safe right now, you need to have lost more than 4 pounds. Your current weight is...
Mentally, this week was tough. Walking into this week was ridiculous. But it's good to see my efforts paid off.
Thanks, Austin.
Thank you. 7 pounds drives home the point that I'm in the driver's seat. It's my decision, it's my life. And I can trust myself to be in the driver's seat and to get things done.
Olivia, when you first started this competition, you weighed 261 pounds. In order to stay here for 1 more week, guarantee that you are above the yellow line right now, Olivia, you need to have lost more than 3 pounds. Your current weight is...
And in 2 weeks, that's ridiculous.
That's unbelievable. That's amazing. At this point in this journey, that is like huge for me. I had a great week last week. Bob really helped me mentally, helped me focus, and I really grabbed hold of that, and I'm not letting go.
I mean, Olivia is a rock star. She is so fantastic, and I'm extremely happy for her right now.
Congratulations, Olivia. You have lost 99 pounds
Yeah.
in 17 weigh-ins. And you are definitely going to be here for at least 1 more week. Jay, when you first started this competition, you weighed 400 pounds. In order to be safe from elimination, you need to have lost more than 5 pounds. Jay, your current weight is...
Thought it'd be a little bit better, but I'm in the 250s, so that's great. I'm getting there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You lost 7 pounds this week for a total percentage of weight loss of 2.64%. With that, Kaylee, I'm sorry to tell you that you are definitely below the yellow line, and you will be facing elimination tonight. Now the question is, who will you be falling below the yellow line with? Will it be Hannah or Irene? Hannah, the last person to weigh in.
So I know at this point it's either gonna be me or Irene under the yellow line, and that's really hard because, you know, Irene's my best friend here. But at the same time, I did that last week. I don't wanna go through that again. That was awful. You know, I wanna believe that I can do this. I can pull a big number, and I can stay above that line this late in the game.
Hannah, when you first started this competition, you weighed 248 pounds. In order to be above that yellow line, safe from elimination, you need to have lost more than 3 pounds.
Okay.
Your current weight is...
Coming up, Biggest Loser transformation moment. See how the eliminated player looks today. The Biggest Loser Club. It's changing lives. Want to be a contestant on The Biggest Loser? Log on to NBC.com for details.
Hannah, when you first started this competition, you weighed 248 pounds. In order to be above that yellow line, safe from elimination, you need to have lost more than 3 pounds.
Okay.
Your current weight is...
That feels so good. That fought. Wow. I'm really surprised right now.
Congratulations. Olivia, Hannah, 1 and 2, ladies, congratulations. Kaylee, Irene, I'm sorry to tell you both that you have fallen below the yellow line and you are up for elimination tonight. One of you will be going home. Time to say goodnight, Brett, Kara, Bob, Jillian.
One thing that I keep saying in the back of my mind is I got the +2, but crazier things have happened. Rulon just left out of the middle of nowhere, and I don't know, I could still be here another week.
I'm gonna wait to hear your decision in the elimination room. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Good luck.
I'm really close with Olivia and Hannah, but this doesn't necessarily mean I'm safe. They could definitely choose to vote me out because I am the biggest threat here. I could win this game, and maybe they want to keep Kaylee here because she would be easier to get out in the end.
Well, everyone, at this point in the season, it just gets more and more difficult. Not just because you're saying goodbye to friends, but because people are getting that much closer to the finish line. So, Hannah, we're going to start with you.
The one thing I am thankful for is I felt like all season, I knew Kaylee, but she was kind of far away from me. And this week, I felt like I really got a chance to get to know you. But as you know, I have a very close bond with Irene. I've had it with her since the very first day we got on this ranch together. So for that reason, tonight, my vote is for Kaylee.
Kaylee, that's 1 vote. Austin.
Kaylee, I have trained with you since day 1. No one pushes me harder on this ranch. And you've been one of my best friends. You're both amazing people. But given my friendship with Kaylee, Irene, I had to put your name down.
Olivia.
Kaylee, I know you know my bond with Irene, and I'm sorry that I have to write your name down tonight. My vote is for Kaylee.
Kaylee, that's 2 votes. That's enough. We don't need to hear Jay's vote because in the event of a tie, you had the lowest percentage of weight loss tonight. How are you going to face the next part of this journey?
For me, I'm ready to embrace it. I'm ready to embrace life. I mean, before I was so scared of everything. And because of the experiences I've gone through, what I've learned from each and every one of these people, it's helped me find who I am and what I want to be and to go for it. And from now on, nothing's holding me back, not even myself anymore. And I'm going to walk out of here so proud, and I love you guys so much. And I'll see you guys at finale.
Kaylee, I'm sorry to tell you that you are not the biggest loser. It's time for you to say goodbye.
Stay strong. Bye, Kaylee.
Love you.
You believe we're here?
No. One of the biggest differences from the Kaylee coming to the ranch and the Kaylee leaving the ranch is I have a voice. I know who I am, and I know how to do it on my own.
Pull, Kaylee! One more!
Something I didn't expect coming to The Biggest Loser, I got Brett and Kara. Their dedication and heart just meant so much to me that they loved me enough to just put everything aside and always be here with me.
You have so much heart, and you're born with that. That's not something someone could teach.
That's one thing I will always appreciate and love them for, and they're going to be a part of my life outside of The Biggest Loser. My dad and I shared this experience, and it's been amazing. It's something that we will treasure for the rest of our lives that no one else is going to understand. And I can't thank Biggest Loser enough for giving me that opportunity to spend with my dad. America, next time you see me, I'm going to be the hottest Tongan this show has ever seen. When I first started The Biggest Loser, I weighed 233 pounds. Today, I've lost a total of 68 pounds. I figured out why I've been going up and down and just yo-yoing. I'm at my goal weight. So now it's focusing on myself and what's gonna make me happy. Before the show, I didn't love myself. Never had a boyfriend before, I've never been kissed, and now I'm confident in myself. I know I'm beautiful, and I'm actually starting to date someone. And I think you guys might recognize him.
Hey! I'm Vance, and I came to the ranch at week 13 to try to win a spot in the game. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, but I didn't let that stop me. Today, I have lost a total of 74 pounds.
I'm ready.
Today, Vance asked me to go ice skating with him, and I'm really excited.
You ready? I am not planning on falling at all.
Before The Biggest Loser, I never thought I would be in this situation. Here in a whole new state, and here ice skating for the first time with a guy I like. And I'm skinny, too. I mean, I look like a totally different person. I am so grateful to The Biggest Loser for that. Thanks for taking me, and thank you for the flowers, too.
You're welcome.
All right, okay, show's over. Get out of here.